taking a long position on the instrument puts you in a beneficiary position. If you have taken a long position on the derivative, then you are the person benefiting or the one being given the privilege of gaining from the derivative. The short on the derivative is actually the underwriter, yeah? The one assuring the other party, yeah, is the underwriter. In the developed markets, or when our market develops, and then we are able to trade more rigorously in derivatives, underwriters or the short in the market are going to be financial institutions, mostly large insurance companies and banks that have bank assurance. I don't know whether you call it bank assurance or bank assurance. Yeah, almost all banks are doing that bank assurance. So they are going to serve as the underwriters in the derivatives market. For now, our market is still being developed, and very few people understand what to do to gain from the market, to make money. It is very few, even guys in the asset management. Anybody in this class who is in asset management? Hakuna mtu wako kwa asset management? Anybody in asset management? There is some point I would like you to assist us with. Anybody in asset management? Hakuna? Or you don't understand asset management? But if you are in asset management, you know. It means in the whole class, nobody is in asset management. Or fund management. Yeah, so most guys are in what? CPA and Rotich, what do you do?
Sorry?
Yes, Rotich.
I'm in audit department.
Oh, audit.
Audit.
Okay.
Yes.
Audit hiyo ni kazi mingi. Audit watu wanafanya kazi sana. But guys in asset management, they do very little. You know, if you are in asset management, you just issue email to the custodian to put money in a certain asset, and then you go and sleep. So in most cases, you do very little. Yeah, and they earn the most. The guys in asset management, they do the least and earn the most. And even banks, the custodians also do nothing, and they earn money. Yeah. So the participants are like that. I hope I'm demystifying this issue of derivatives market very clearly. Also, at this point, you need to know who are the market makers. Then we have non-market makers. Who are market makers? Someone to tell us, to share with us your understanding of who is a market maker. Hii ni class inataka collective input. Market maker, who is a market maker? Of course, maker means you can influence market demand and supply. So these are dealers, mainly dealers. But non-market makers cannot influence forces of demand and supply. These are just brokers. They are brokers. So in the market, we have dealers and brokers. Dealers are very important fellows who move markets. Brokers, they are just intermediaries between those seeking to buy and those seeking to sell. Any question before I close this? Yeah, so that is it. It is a recap I'm making to ensure that we are on the same page as we proceed. We are not late for anything. We are in control of the amount of work we shall need to cover. So a recap now on instruments or derivatives. We had said that we have forward. There are two categories: forward commitments in which we have forward contract, then we have futures. I had already explained forward are custom-made, futures are standardized so that you can trade them on the open exchange. Then we have contingent. We have contingent claims in which I said we have options. We have credit derivatives, etc. So I'm only highlighting the typical ones, but as the financial systems advance, we keep having new instruments being crafted. Traditional ones are the ones I'm mentioning here. And in this lesson, I wanted to introduce valuation. I wanted to introduce valuation concepts. So I've already built the background. Everybody now has knowledge of what we are going to talk about. So I think I'm free now to introduce the valuation concepts. Before I proceed, if you have any concern, you can ask me directly right now. As I've said, we are not rushing to beat any deadline. We are only here to get the learning outcomes attained. Any question? I hope Muko Zambamba, you are getting. I'm not talking to myself.
We are getting you, sir.
We are getting you.
You are getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes you can teach only to find that you are not attaining the learning objectives. You are just passing time to fulfill the requirement that you had a lesson. And that is something I would not like, because this is a unique subject, the derivative pricing. It's better you come out with something. So I'm introducing valuation. Evaluation of forward commitments. Valuation of forward commitments. If you remember what a forward commitment is, it is a financial instrument in which both the long and the short are obligated to the contract. The word contract is very key. You know, when we say a contract, it's actually a contract. And you know, a contract, both the seller and the buyer, they are obligated. The long, who is the buyer, is obligated to buy the underlying at the agreed forward price. Then the seller of the underlying is obligated to sell the underlying whatever quantity they agree at the agreed forward price. That is what we call a forward commitment. So typically, a forward commitment, in this case, we are looking at forward contract. How do we do valuation of a forward contract? Remember, in anything you are doing evaluation for, what is critical in evaluation of anything, whether it is a share or whatever you are talking about, is cash flows. So to the investor, he's looking at valuation. To the investor, but to the person purchasing something, he's looking at the price, how much. Yeah, in either case, it is still talking about cash flow or cash outlay or cash inflow, depending on the direction somebody is standing. So you are either the recipient of the money or the giver of the money. So in valuing forward contract, we are considering between the two parties, the long versus the short to the contract. Who gains? Because at the end, usually we have a timeline like this. At the onset, time is 0. Maybe this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This is 4. Let us say this is a 4-month forward contract. So if you have a 4-month forward contract, so you agree now for a price that will be paid. So here, at this time, you are talking of spot price, spot. Here, you are talking about forward. Yeah. So spot price is usually, the spot price for the underlying is usually denoted by SO. Then the forward price, we can denote this by ST. The price, maybe not to confuse, let me denote for purpose of valuation. Forward contract, forward price, we shall denote the same with forward price, we shall denote the same with the maybe for simplicity. These things are not conventional, but it's good to do something reasonable. So we can denote forward price to be S subscript F. So spot price is SO, the price now. Then this spot price, you agree with it at this time. Maybe I can still pull it here. Let me pull it here. So on the spot, you are agreeing on the forward price. So you agree at this time. You agree that you will sell at this time, at the end of 4 months at SF. But the market price at the time you are agreeing is SO. At maturity date, the market will also have a market price, which is ST. ST is the market price at maturity. In this case, T is 4. So in this case, we are talking of S4. Yeah. So at the end of for the month, the market price will be S4 or ST if it's expiring at T. So there are these 3 elements that will determine the price or valuation. So for you to do a reasonable analysis, then you must you must see how to relate the 3. Now, under arbitrage-free market, future spot price, which is ST, is equal to exponential RT times SO. Yeah. SO is the spot price at the onset when we are agreeing. So if the market is arbitrage free, then the future spot price on the maturity, it is expected to be like this. But in most cases, ST is not necessarily exponential RT times SO. It is different from this. If it differs, then there is arbitrage opportunity, which means somebody can make money using the risk-free rate, in this case R. But if arbitrage opportunity is not there, then this one holds. So to get the value, you know, in evaluation, we are not going to speculate that the future market price is going to be like this or like that. This is just estimation at the onset. But real value, we wait for the actual outcome of the market. So let me open another slide. So at the onset, for the loan, payoff is equal to, okay, the loan is the party who is agreeing to buy. So this guy is very happy if market prices go up, he has locked his price in the forward. So it is going to be market price minus forward price. That is the payoff to the long, and it's the estimate of the value. So that if we know the market outcome, we simply take the present value of this difference to know the value of this contract at the onset. Or present value of the contract. Then for the short, payoff is going to be, for the short, the party agreeing to sell is very happy if prices drop. So for him, it is going to be his forward price minus the agreed, no, minus the market price when it has dropped. That's when it pays off. And another point to note is that in the forward contract valuation, the payoff can be negative. Negative signifies that the party loses. If it is positive, then the party gains. So that as a rule, the party gaining receives the gain, then the party losing the loss. I don't know whether loss is double S or it's SE. The loss, the party that makes loss pays that loss to the other party. Maybe to illustrate, we can say that the forward contract is maybe a bag of maize. The forward contract 4 months from now, you have agreed 6,000. Supposing on maturity, the price is 7,000. In this case, who has lost? Because you have locked yourself in a price of 6,000. One party agrees that he will buy at 6,000. The other party agrees that he will sell at 6,000. On the maturity of this contract, the market price is 7. So who has lost? The short, isn't it? The long is gaining because the long is buying at 6,000. Therefore, the short is forced to sell at 6,000 when the market is buying at 7. So in this case, the short is losing. So short short loss is 1,000. Then long gain is 1,000. So supposing they had agreed the number of bags to be 1,000. So what happens? So instead of the buyer buying 1,000 bags at 6,000 and paying 6 million, and the seller selling 1,000 bags at 6,000, what they do in the market, the settlement is not delivery, usually it is cash settlement. So what happens in this case? The short will just pay the long 1 million na wanamalizana. In this case, the short will pay the long 1 million. Na case inaisha. But supposing that you had agreed, say 2,000 for something, and you had agreed also, maybe you had agreed 100 units. That is the quantity. Then the price drops to 18 on maturity. It means that the short is gaining, the long is losing, because he's going to be forced to buy at 2,000 when the market is buying at 1,800. And these things look very simple, but they cost multinationals billions. You can recall the problems that KQ is having is because of inability by the finance department to deal with these issues, because they participate in derivative markets over petroleum as the underlying. There is a time they made very supernormal losses, and they had to be questioned by parliamentary committee. And the CEO was claiming the reason they were getting losses is because of hedging using forward contract. Just a minute. So I hope this discussion is heading somewhere. Is it heading somewhere, this discussion?
Yes, Mwalimu.
Yeah, so I think that is it for valuation of forward contracts. So far, it's not complicated. It is like that. It will depend on the case. So a case can be complicated or not complicated, but either way, we just do what we call demystification of the facts. Once you understand how to get the payoff to the short and payoff to the long, then you know. And as I had indicated, many multinational corporations, right now, you see companies, I know of a company which is operating in Kenya that entered a forward contract on advice from the financial analyst. It was, I think, 2019. They entered a forward contract on the dollar to be transacting for all their transactions equivalent of 100 shillings. That time, the dollar was below 100. It could go to 98, 99. It was oscillating around this, around 2019, 2018. It was oscillating around 95, 98, like that. So it looked attractive to the underwriter to lock these guys for 5 years. A very long-term contract of 5 years at 100 per dollar. You see, the contract expires 2024. And as the rest of the Kenyans buy the dollar at 152, these guys are already gaining. They are buying the dollar at 100 shillings. I know that they are buying their dollar from the underwriters at 100 shillings. Then the rest of you can continue crying. Even the government has capacity to do a proper research. It has guys in the treasury, in central bank. Their job should be to do research and foresee things. You cannot say nobody is foresaw a dollar going for 152 at this time. So there are guys who foresaw and locked themselves at 100. The rest can cry. And we know the dollar might go up to 200 shillings by December if the trend continues, because of the increase in the price of petroleum, which is the highest driver of currency in Kenya. Then also Kenya continues to be a net importer of almost everything. So we are like a supermarket. So the only thing Kenyans are doing is to earn a salary and spend it to China or Korea. Then you remain with zero. So exports will continue driving the dollar upwards. As long as there is no manufacturing happening in Kenya, we are importing even a toothpick, tissue paper, clothes. Everybody is wearing imported clothes, shoes imported, butter shop closed. It's no longer manufacturing shoes. There is no textile industry in Kenya. It died officially during Kibaki regime. And what else do we have? The only thing maybe we are doing is we are not importing bread, but wheat we are importing. And maybe another thing we are not importing is what? Milk. Milk, at least we have cows. So at least people are milking locally. So the milk you drink has no dollar element. But all other consumption things, the dollar is the beneficiary. So these guys who foresaw and followed the advice of experts, they are now harvesting. KQ, you see, they always make the opposite. They did not hedge. They left nature to take its course. Now they are also able to buy fuel in dollar form at 152 shillings per dollar, excluding taxes and other transaction costs. So that is it. Maybe I can now do a graphic presentation of how these things happen. Maybe I can draw. I can draw. Not necessarily to scale. Maybe I can draw like this. Yeah, something like that. So this is payoff. And on x-axis, I can have I can have the underlying price. So payoff will be 0 at the point when the market price is equal to the underlying is equal to the forward price, let's say. So I can draw something like this, then draw another line like this, where they are intercepting at this point. Maybe I can draw more properly. Yeah, I wanted the line to intersect. Where the red and the blue line are intercepting, that point is the forward price. So the red is actually the long, and the blue one is the short. can twist the short, so that as the underlying price increases, then the payoff, the payoff to the long increases. At this price, the payoff is here. If you increase the price to here, then the payoff is going to increase to here. But for the short, the lower the underlying price, the better. So that at this price, the payoff is here. If you lower the price further, the payoff hikes. So you can see the relationship between the long and the short in terms of payoff. Where the intercept is the forward price, because at the forward price, no one is making money. Yeah, so I hope now you have seen the pictorial view of these things. And that is it. When it comes to forward commitments, I have summarized it that way. So I will upload the materials there under topic 2 at the end of this. But when you read, this is what you will be seeking to get. Yeah, we can take a couple. We can break 5 minutes, take water and continue. So I think we can resume. And now I would like to introduce I would like to introduce payoff on the payoff analysis for options. Yeah, somebody would like us to clarify again. I've drawn two lines, the blue line and the red line. The red is the long because if on the x-axis, this one, we have the underlying price, so that the higher the underlying price, the better for the long, and the lower the underlying price, the better for the short. Short is the blue line. So you can clearly see that on the left, that is when the short is gaining, and on the right, that is when the long is gaining. The point of intersection there is when both the long and the short have zero payoff. That means the price at which they are intercepting is the forward price. Yeah. If your forward price is 1,000 and the market price is 1,000, are you gaining anything? So that is the rational reasoning behind that intersection or intersection. And that summarizes the relationship between the short and the long regarding payoff on the forward contract. So I think at this point I can move to the analysis of options. So analysis of options. Or analysis on options. Options, we have the call, which is the right. When you have a call or you are in a call option, then you have got the right to buy or sell. The right to buy or sell. The underlying. The right to buy, not or sell. It's just the right to buy the underlying. Sorry, the underlying. Underlying asset at the agreed price. At the agreed price. Yeah, so we have that. So if the call is behaving like that, then we know that if you have the right to buy, then the higher the price, the better. The higher the market price, the better, because you have the right to buy at an agreed price. So it is very good if the market price is going up. Then being in a call is very nice for you, as we shall see how to do the payoff. Then the put, which is the right to sell the underlying asset. The underlying asset at a given or at the agreed price, at a given price. So if you have the right to sell, then it is very nice for you if market prices are dipping. If they are going down, then it's very nice for you because you have the right to sell at a given price, which could be better. So it's very nice when prices are going down. Like the price of maize right now, the rate is going down. If you have the right to sell at maybe 7,000, then you feel very nice, as maybe others sell at 3. You can even buy to them and sell at 7. You don't need to plant any maize. So that is the beauty of options. Options give you room to either exercise or not. But forward contract, you are obligated. It doesn't matter the market outcome. The reason options are called contingent claims, it's because upon the outcome of the market price, you are free to either exercise or not. You only exercise if it is nice for you to exercise. I hope the background to these options is very clear, so that once I go to, I think to make the analysis very comprehensive, I will go straight to, maybe generally speaking, I can go straight to standard analysis based on standard long position. Long means the buyer of this call. The call, there is somebody who underwrites and another one buys and pays premium. Put, there is somebody who underwrites and another one buys and pays premium. So I would like us to analyze these options from the default point of view. The default point of view is usually from the point of view of the long. So let me introduce standard long position. Maybe I can change the orientation of this slide. Yeah. So I'm talking about standard long position. So I'm looking at the call. Call option. Now for the call option to the long, value at expiration or at maturity. is given by CT. C for the call, T is the maturity time, is equal to the maximum. You choose maximum of either 0 or ST minus X, where X is exercise price and ST is the underlying price at maturity. So, which means payoff or the value of this thing can never be negative. If ST is less than X, giving a negative, you take 0. So you take either 0 or that difference, whichever gives you the higher. So that is the value of the call. Now, profit to the long is given by CT minus CO. CO is the value of the call at the onset, which is the premium. So this is actually the premium. The premium that you pay to get the right. And this one I said is the exercise price. That is the exercise price. Yeah, so that is how it goes. So maximum profit, let me denote profit with pi. Maximum profit is theoretically when the price rises, when this price, it goes up to infinity. It keeps going up until it is infinity. So if you insert infinity in the equation, the answer will always be infinity. Yeah, the answer will always be infinity. So the maximum profit is going to be infinity. How about maximum loss? Maximum loss is actually only the premium that you pay, which is, that's the maximum you can lose is premium, which you pay, which is CO. That's the maximum loss that you can suffer. How about break-even price? Break-even price, the price at which you get 0 profit. Of course, this is when profit is 0. So it is the price you get when profit is 0. So CT minus X, which is ST minus X, which is CT minus CO is equal to 0. So we are looking for ST with the star, which is break-even price. So this price, break-even price, with the star here, we can cross everything. We can cross everything, so it becomes X plus CO. That's your break-even price. So if you want to know at what price should the market clock so that the long gets 0 profit, it is that price. I think that's a comprehensive analysis on the standard long position for the call option. Any question? Examples will come, but let's do the analysis. Get the concepts first. So I can do a graphic view. So I can do now a graphical analysis of this thing. Maybe I can go back to the other view. I don't have a ruler, so I'm just drawing freehand. What happened? Yeah, so I would like to show on I can put 0 here. X-axis is the ST, then Y-axis is payoff and profit. We can present the same here. So I can begin with the profit, maybe, no, with the I can begin with the payoff. At one point, payoff starts being positive, so I can have it here, going like this. So going this way is 0. So payoff cannot be negative. The worst it can be any price below ST, payoff is 0. Any price above ST, payoff is better than 0. So that is payoff. This is just payoff. That is our payoff curve. So that our profit curve, I can have it in green. Profit is always below this, so it can come this way. Then it can come this way. So profit can be negative. Profit can be negative. So the green thing, profit is 0. So it is somewhere here. At that place, the price at which this is 0 is X plus CO. That is the point of that turning point. That price is actually that price. So you can see that payoff is never 0, but profit can, payoff can never be negative, but profit can cross into negative. This is negative. I hope it is clear. That is my analysis of payoff for the call. Any question? That is it. Still, this is the call to the long, or it's a long call. So I think I can go to the put. Let me create another slide. So standard long analysis for the put. For the put, value at expiration is T, which is the maximum of 0, or X, which is exercise price minus the underlying price, like that. Yeah, so that is how it looks like. PT is the maximum of either 0 or X minus ST. So that is it. Then profit, which I can denote with a pi, is PT minus PO. PO is the premium.
This is DJ38K.
Yeah, somebody had to put on the music. So premium is PO. Premium on the put can be denoted by PO. So that maximum profit is when ST is 0. If ST drops to 0, then the payoff will be X. Therefore, profit will be X minus PO. Yeah. So maximum profit is X minus premium. Then maximum loss is actually, maximum loss is when you get 0 payoff. It's just the premium. Yeah. And break even price is when the profit is 0, which means X minus ST minus PO is 0. So we want to make X. So ST star is therefore, if all things cross, they become positive. That one is negative, or make things positive, negative. It becomes X minus PO if you cross. So break-even price, which means at that price, then the guy does not make profit, neither does he make loss. So profit is 0 and loss is also 0. And a question, that is the analysis of the put, which I can also do a graphic presentation here. A graphic presentation here. This is payoff and profit. Then this is ST. So for this guy, positive positive is only on the right. On the left it is. So you have a certain point which marks the interception, so that at this point you have your payoff. Payoff, which is in red. Payoff is the lower the lower the underlying price, the higher the payoff. So it increases this side. Then the profit, we can do another color for profit. Profit will come this way, then also go this way. So this is profit. And the red one is payoff. So that's how it looks. You can see that profit can drop into negative, but payoff, the worst is 0. So from that point of intersection, that is when when X underlying price XT is X minus PO. From there to the left is profit, to the right is loss. So that is profit analysis. Of course, that point is when profit is 0. That is the X minus PO. That point I've put star. I see. So I have actually finished the analysis for the standard long. The analysis for the standard long position. So maybe after finishing the short position, then we shall see whether it is possible to look at the examples. Although I hope to upload this under topic 2. I'll see whether to upload under topic 2. Yeah, that is it. Let me introduce now analysis for the standard analysis measure. Standard. Standard. Standard short position. Standard short position, so we can also consider the call. So for our call, I've already told you that this is now the underwriter. The short position is the underwriter for the call, which means we can now look at the value at expiration as the opposite of the other one, which is negative T. CT, I mean, CT remains yeah, so we will finish soon. So you see, whatever you have is just negative CT. So profit is going to be negative CT plus CO. So to this guy, the premium that is paid by the loan is income, and the payoff received by the loan is an outflow. That's why we put a negative on it. So maximum profit is actually maximum loss for the maximum profit is maximum loss, which is premium, and maximum loss is actually the maximum profit for the other guy, which is infinity. Break even is the same. So break even for the standard short and the long, it is the same because the two of them make zero profit, both the short and the long. So break even will not change. So for the put, value at expiration value that at the expiration is negative PT. You just add a negative so that profit is actually negative PT plus PO. And the maximum profit is the maximum loss of the other guy, which is then the maximum loss is actually maximum profit of the other guy, which is X minus PO. Then for all cases, break even price is the same as long. Yeah. So this one, break even for this case to be the same. I think, I don't know your concentration level, whether we can continue. So I think we can pick from there next week to recap but I can wait if there is any response on what if there is any response on this that I've written. Now we are doing what we call derivatives analysis and pricing. Hii ndio sasa pricing. These slides, I think I'll share with you in the groups. I've been saving these slides if you have not been able to write, although being there to follow physically is what pays. This is PO.